Welcome to Cyber Advisor's Cybersecurity Update. My name is Eric Brown, and today we will be talking about ransomware. A little housekeeping before we begin. While I may mention products or brands during this video is not intended to be a product endorsement, review, or an advertisement for any particular product or service. The intent is to educate and prevent the proliferation of crypto lockers through awareness. So what is ransomware? As illustrated here in this Dilbert cartoon, simply put, ransomware is a piece of malware that blocks access to a victim's files, usually until the ransom is paid. Ransomware, also known as cyber extortion software, is spread through social engineering and phishing. Phishing is a term used to refer to targeted or semi-targeted attacks, enticing you to click on a link or open an attachment in an email. These emails look like they came from a trusted source, such as your boss, a friend, UPS, or from a popular social media website like Facebook. Ransomware can seek to infect other computers on the local network. It can attempt to extract valuable data like email addresses, usernames, and passwords from the infected machine. And ransomware is pretty slippery. Modern variants are able to avoid anti-malware products and other forms of detection by enticing the user to allow the malware to run. Ransomware has been around for a long time. The first known variant of ransomware, AIDS, was created by Joseph L. Popp in 1989. Popp was an evolutionary biologist with a PhD from Harvard. He distributed 20,000 infected floppy disks to delegates from 90 countries at a World Health Organization International AIDS Conference in Stockholm in December of 1989. After locking the infected computer, a ransom demand of, ironically, $189 was asked to be mailed to a P.O. box in Panama. Ransomware continues to evolve today. The latest variants are ransomware as a service, which pays both the creator and its affiliates. Today, ransomware is even infecting smart TVs. In 2016, cyber extortion crime fetched over $1 billion for the criminals who make and exploit victims through ransomware attacks. So enough of all of the doom and gloom. What can you do? The good news is you can take steps to negate or significantly reduce the impact a crypto locker will have on your system. At Cyber Advisors, we recommend a defense in-depth approach. A single solution by itself will not prevent ransomware, but in concert, they will harden the target. If it is difficult to gain initial access, the attackers will likely seek easier prey. There are several things that you can do to prevent being compromised by ransomware. We'll explore these 6 in more depth: backup, URL link awareness, phishing, macros, USB drive awareness, and malware protection. Backups. All too often I hear the same answer when I ask the question, what are you using for backup? Nothing. Nothing? What do you mean, nothing? Your data is important. Back it up. I can't stress this enough. Just as you likely have more than one key to your house or car, additional copies of your important data are necessary too. Backups are the last line of defense and the difference between an inconvenience and a catastrophic loss. Reliable backups are the safety net that ensure your data is protected when all other measures fail and data encryption occurs. Backing up your data is critical to reducing the impact of ransomware and other malware. Have versioned copies of your data stored in a safe location, disconnected from your computer. Unless internet access isn't readily available to you, I strongly recommend a cloud solution included in your backup strategy. There are many solutions that offer cloud backups for a few dollars a month. Should your data be compromised, it is very easy to connect to these tools from a smartphone or other uncompromised system and recover your files. An example implementation could be to use a free or low-cost product to snapshot your data to a local USB drive and a cloud backup subscription to take regular file-level backups of your data stored and accessible in the cloud. If you need to restore, you can pull from the local USB flash drive, and if that device is compromised, you have the cloud option to fall back to. You can also look to leverage available services to store discrete types of data. For example, Google Photos provides unlimited photo and video storage in the cloud at no cost. Phishing. Chances are you've been the target of a direct or indirect phishing attack. Phishing attacks can be targeted specifically to you if you are in a position to access data malicious actors may want or have access to spread an infection. You may be directly targeted. Other phishing attacks are more generic and appear to come from your IT department or your finance department, asking for you to click on a link or submit information such as your birth date, mother's maiden name, social security number, a PIN number, or password. All of this data is stored and could be accessed and used against you later. 2 recent phishing emails, one against Gmail and the other against Netflix, have fooled even the most savvy users. WordFence did a great job detailing the Gmail attack. I'll paraphrase it here and include the link below if you want to read more. The Gmail attack is initiated when an attacker sends an email to your Gmail account. The email might even come from someone you know who has had their account compromised. It includes an image of an attachment that you may recognize from the sender. Once you click on the image, a tab opens up, prompting you to sign into your Gmail account. Looking at the address bar, the part highlighted here boxed out in red, the https accounts.google.com, seems legit. You put your credentials into a fully functioning login page, and once the sign-in is completed, your account is compromised. A commenter on Hacker News describes the attack like this. The attackers log into your account immediately once they get their credentials, and they use one of your actual attachments along with one of your actual subject lines and send it to people in your contact list. For example, they went into one student's account, pulled an attachment with an athletic team practice schedule, generated the screenshot, and then paired that with a subject line that was tangentially related and emailed it to the other members of the athletic team. I'll include links below to additional reading on this attack. Macros. Another pervasive attack vector are macros in Office documents or Adobe PDF files. And Sophos does a good job of detailing Locky, one of the more prevalent ransomware variants in the world today. And this strain uses malicious macros as an attack vector for the ransomware to infect victims. When the user opens the document, it appears to be full of random characters, as you can see here in this Word document. And it includes the example phrase, enable macro if encoding is incorrect. This is a social engineering technique to get you to click on enable macros through the options there. If the user does enable macros, the macros then save and run a binary file that downloads the actual encryption Trojan, which will encrypt all files that match particular extensions. Microsoft deliberately turned off auto execution of macros by default many years ago as a security measure. A lot of malware infections rely on persuading you to turn macros back on, so don't do it. A little South Park humor to introduce the next topic, USB drives. USB drives are a convenient and easy way to move large files between computers. With storage pricing coming down all the time, getting a large USB stick for low cost makes them great targets for file sharing. Unfortunately, this makes them a great vehicle to spread malware. Operating systems inherently trust USB sticks plugged in, and most will automatically execute code that can install malware from a USB stick. Several studies, including a research project at the University of Illinois, show that USB sticks left in public places have a 50% insertion rate. If you see these in the parking lot, at your school, at your work, if you see them in your mailbox, which has been a known attack vector in Australia, resist the temptation to plug them in. Endpoint protection, last but not least. As you have no doubt heard numerous times, anti-malware programs are part of a comprehensive strategy to protect your data along with backups and education. There is no computer device commercially available that is not able to be impacted by malware. There's a false belief among some users that Apple computers and devices are immune from being infected. This is simply untrue. There are numerous documented attacks against OS X, including a variant of ransomware. There are a lot of excellent anti-malware programs available. Some are free, some have a nominal fee. Find one that you like and keep the definitions up to date. No anti-malware is 100%. So without a backup, there is always a risk that ransomware can creep into your machine. Make sure your operating system, Flash, Java, and anti-malware are all up to date. One last word on endpoint protection programs. There has been a growing trend advocating that behavior-based anti-malware programs are superior to traditional signature-based programs. There is no silver bullet. Each have their flaws. Recently, a leading behavior-based program was circumvented. Malicious actors will always find a way around protection. So find a program that you like, keep it up to date, and practice safe computing. Most importantly, back up your data, as a good backup is your last line of defense. I hope you found this informative and enjoyed our time together. Check out the links below and let us know if there are additional topics you would like to see covered.